Hello everyone, welcome to this series of lecture where we are actually going to discuss how to find money. You know, in our capitalist system of life, things have been quite complicated. We are living in a very complex cities with a lot of peoples and few number of jobs. So in this series of lectures, we're going to actually observe at important things that one can embark on in order to succeed in life. So life is really easy when we are so many like this, but actually it's equally tough. So you need some set of skills in order to embark into that. Here is well explained the channel, and only in this channel we will be teaching you how to find money, because we know this is not what you're being taught while you are at school. Your teachers in the schools are focusing to tell you what kind of jobs you can walk into, what kind of stuffs you can really do, but all of that is aiming at giving you money. So here in this series of videos, we're going to tell you quite certainly how you can achieve your dreams. Welcome. So money making algorithm, it's like some kind of formula, step-by-step procedures that you follow, and in the end you end up making a lot of money and being wealth, and you know, to the level of your satisfactions. So welcome and enjoy. In its origin, life is basically an exchange. We are exchanging here, whether it's life, whether it's for amenities of life, anything around us, we are actually exchanging stuffs. It's a give and take process here. So if the species are equal, they can then exchange things, whether affections, emotions. But if species are different, we will look into a right way to exploit each other's. Other calls it colonialism, other calls it a lot of other names, but it's basically exchange. So our journey into this series of lecture will be like, we will have an introduction part where we'll be giving the real story of what it really is, and then we will go into the flashback, some kind of history, a review where we are telling what really is the question on the table. And then from the history point of view, we're going to look at the ways that we have been living our past life. We can also dive into the life of other mammals in order to kind of finding some things that are more relevant to our own story. We then go on to look into in how jobs developed in our communities. How do we have the jobs that we have today? How do we have doctors? How do we have physicians, engineers, industrial workers, and everybody, teachers, and all that stuffs? We're then going to look at the deals, you know, the real deal itself. I mean, what kind of things you really need to do in order to succeed in your life and make money easy and enjoy the rest of your life. So then later on, we're going to give the code, some kind of a real wizard technique, approach that's actually going to set you free from all the chores, the queries, and every other stuff, so that you can be free. We can then give you our expectations after you attending this kind of lectures, and then in the end, we're going to give you the conclusions, some kind of the remarks about it's important to highlight earlier. This is actually a research. It was done and proven to be successful, and everybody who followed the technique that is being taught here is bound to succeed. So don't worry or don't hesitate to learn this, and they are free. It's an open source YouTube, right? Only your internet, so you're going to get this. All right, welcome. So what is money? As we've said earlier in the introduction part of this lecture, that life is all about exchange, whether within ourselves as creatures or species, or between us and the environment. And why do we exchange? It's actually for the survival purposes. We are giving ourselves basic services of life by exchanging one another, whether it is heat by cuddling or hugging, whether it is sexual pleasure by intimacy, whether it is for our stomachs, I mean for food, by eating one another or eating the plants around us. Exchange media is actually the first definition of money. So the protocol of that exchange is like that diagram, how it shows. So we can see from the diagram there is a creature A, and then there is a creature B there. So we see that creature A, this is some kind of a predator or vegetarian. Anyone can be here. We have given the example of a spider here. We only see that the medium of exchange here in this case is the skills that an organism possesses. This is actually the money now that he uses to buy the creature B. which are actually whether food for survival or any other item that is needed for life. You know, those basic needs of life. So the diagram says already. So creature B is the prey or the veggies to be eaten. In our example here, we have used the mosquito. So here we see the guy. This is a chameleon trying to get an insect from a distance. We know the tool that chameleon got is actually the high speedy tank, which is actually very capable and muscular enough to capture the insects at an instant they don't even know. So they will get to their senses when they are already being chewed by the chameleon. And here again we see lions are sharpening up their skills into taking down that donkey. I don't know, I'm actually curious to know if they will take that down or not. So the set of skills that these lions have got is actually what turns out to be their money in this area. And then we're going to check at our own. We are studying these puzzles, these studies in order to construct our own life, not for any other thing else. So human and money. How this kind of money works, the money that involves skills. We have seen earlier that humans have learned since the beginning of their presence here on Earth to exchange with the nature, whether it is hunt-together lifestyle or whether it is the developed lifestyle like the one we are having today. We have only shortcutted the processes by having they produce the good from the industries today, but actually the basic process that is being used by us humans to interact with environments in order to get our needs is actually by applying some sort of skills that we have, like every other species, to get what we want. So we need skills. You know, you need to know how to hunt animals, you need to know how to cultivate the farm, you need to know how to cut down trees in order to get the firewood, you need to know how to create a beautifully arranged wooden hut where you can actually keep your crops or roast your praise. That's actually the set of skills that you needed. Then other peoples who are coming to you to get some services of that which you have just worked at, they will then pay you some other kind of services as their thank you to you in order for you to give them what you have, which is either meat, flesh, or beef, or some bunches of crops that you got from the field, or anything else. And then the thing that they give you is perhaps the love, if it is a wife, or they can give you another piece of land, or they can welcome you to their society, they can give you the piece of fabric that you have really craved to have. So all of that contributes to what really what kind of money this is. So the money here is the set of skills which still holds until today. So I have a picture of a hunter here, hunter-gatherers guys. He is equipped at using that arrow and bow kind of tool. These were the tools even before and during iron technology. So the guy is carefully here targeting an animal, a distant prey, which it is to be killed or badly injured by this tool, so that this man can later take that as a meal of the day, or something to buy other things from. We see here another man. These are guys from Borneo areas. He has got a bunch of trees here. The skills that he has here is actually the capacity to think of a better way of putting a lot of fruits together in a nice way like that, so he can travel them to a greater distances. So this kind of thinking, this kind of set of applications, this is actually now becoming his money. Our remarks is that life exchanges. So we know that living things have exchanged since the time immemorial. That's actually the very definition of trade. And in this tutorial we have seen that money is actually a skill. In this first definition, the skills that you have at achieving something, that's actually your money into that will take you into getting other things. So how did we humans get to the works we are doing today? These kind of jobs, the office works that we are doing today, how did we arrive here? It has been a series of processes, as I told earlier, of us trying to shortcut the things. So when our knowledges of the nature expanded, we then began to specialize. When we were specializing, we began giving ourselves different responsibilities. And as those responsibilities expanded, we found ourselves accumulating more knowledges, needing more tools, become curious and very wary of time. And that's why we boosted our means of thinking of a better way to shorten the time. So thank you for being with me from the beginning until now. This is just the beginning, as I've said earlier. A lot of these are going to come, and we are going to have a wonderful review and overlook into how these things really work. So we will learn, all of us together, on how to get money. I urge you to subscribe and be ready for the next show. Thank you.